Hi, this is Josh again with Harris Decals. As you can see today, we are going to work on driver's names and numbers that you can dress up your helmet. As you can see, we already have the graphics kit, the visor decals as well. All of this can be found in our description below. With the numbers, the number and the name that you can put on helmets just kind of dresses it up, makes it your own personal look. Today I'm going to show you how to actually install them. Tools you're going to need is scissors, your X-Acto knife again. I don't usually use a squeegee. You can. The difference with a squeegee when you're working with a helmet is that a squeegee has a nice hard edge, which is great on flat surfaces. When you have a curved surface, typically your finger actually works better because you can kind of mold it into what you need it to be. The best thing to do is to find your location and where you want to put your items first. The nice thing about this is that you want to see kind of where it goes. You want to watch out for points that kind of stick up. Any kind of curvatures that that just going to make it hard to install. You don't usually want to go over them. Usually on helmets, I try to put the name kind of somewhere down below kind of the mouth area or back kind of in this big area, as you can see, where it's not got a whole lot going on right here, and it kind of just fills that space, kind of fills it in a lot better. When you have a name and a number, that's where it gets a little tricky because you want to have enough room to kind of put it where you want. Some people will only do one number and you just put it, on the back of the helmet, kind of just as a placer. We're going to show you the number and the name on a side. That way you get a better look of it. Okay, for the driver's name, we chose the kind of the jaw area of the helmet. The nice thing about this, you can see it's got a nice flat surface. Not a whole lot's going on as far as curvature of the helmet. Our decals will come rolled over. The first thing you're going to want to do is take your scissors and cut the edges. I like to cut it close to the decal without cutting the decal. Kind of the more tape that's not shown, the easier it is to put it on. We do this on both sides, so you want to make sure you get both of those cut before. Another thing I'll do is, because I like it nice and tight so I can see it a lot easier, I'll even cut the bottom close too so I can get a real good view of what this is going to look like in the spot we have picked, as well as the top part. So now that I got that all trimmed up, I kind of just place it on there. You just kind of look and see where you think looks best. This is just more of an overview shot of kind of where you want to put it, at what angle, straight with this, straight with that. And you want to make sure you're going to miss things, because once you put this on the other side, you got to run into the same problems or same issue areas. So you kind of want to make sure you miss those. What I would suggest on a location like this is to kind of center it between the end of the vent hole and the screw part that kind of comes out in the helmet. That way it makes it easier for the other side to remember where to put it. And then just kind of center it, in the upper and lower area of the part we picked. What's easy about this, you just kind of peel off the back. This vinyl is printed vinyl, so it's got a low tack at first, so it's easy to get on and off if you kind of mess up or you don't want where it's at. This, I just kind of eyeball where I want to put it. It doesn't have to be a perfect measurement or anything like that. You can actually tack it down and look at it, kind of see if you like it right there. If this is the case, let's say you don't like it, just pop it up. You don't have to really yank as hard as you can, or you just don't want to yank really softly, because the softer you do it, the more chance it's going to want to stick. Especially with your gloss helmets. Matte helmets, it's usually easier to get it popped up real quick if you need to. But we're kind of going to go in this area again, tack it down. Now when you're working with a curved surface, kind of take your finger, just kind of work a circle. You can feel the vinyl and what it's doing, if it's going to wrinkle and stuff like that. Another way you can do it is you can actually work it till you feel it's kind of where you want it to be. Then you can take the tape off and really work the edges in which you want it to look nicer. This being the size it is, it's actually fitting really nice in this area. Like, I don't feel any bubbles, I don't feel any creases. Make sure you get it down really nice, pressing hard at the end, kind of going over everything. And then what you want to do is you always want to pull a corner of the tape The reason why we pull a corner is you want to go at that 45-degree angle. Never want to go like this because you run the risk of it popping off. Same thing if you go vertical or height-wise. That 45 with pressure, kind of just pushing it down while you're pulling it off. Gets a nice smooth, sticks a lot sharper. You can kind of see, I mean, you're going to have little spots that you kind of want to fix with your finger, but overall, it actually comes out really smooth, even without that squeegee. Now, if we did move this ahead and we were over a vent like this per se, this is where your X-Acto knife comes into play. You always want to trim out your vents, just pressing the blade up against the edge and kind of following it down, and they always kind of curve up in a half circle at the top and bottom. You want to make sure of this because otherwise you're going to cover up this vent. That air is not going to be able to come out. By trimming it, it makes it so air can go through, a nice cleaner look. Same thing as we did with the name. You're going to want to find your location, kind of where you want to put it. I always suggest, put it here or in the back, but when you're doing it up here, kind of look at your graphics and what you have going on. I want to put the number kind of over kind of a whole bunch of set of them, so that way it kind of ties them all together. You're going to see even here that it's not going to form as easy as the name did. Same thing with this. What we're going to do is we're going to trim those edges. Okay. So now, you come back over here, you're going to get a better view of kind of how this is going to sit and where you want it to sit. You can kind of see, I mean, you can move it forward, move it back. Same thing, you want to look for imperfections. You notice the bolts down here, the visor kind of sits up here. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot going on back here in this helmet. So that kind of makes it even easier for us. I always like to do it at an angle. You can do it straight, however you want to do it. Angle kind of gives it a nicer look. So same thing, we're going to pull off the backing. Now, this we kind of just, again, we just tack it where we want to see it, like so. Advantage of just tacking it, I could essentially pick the helmet up, look at it, and see if I like it where it's at. But it's still tacked. Like I said, you can still pop it back up if you need to. This I might move a little more forward, like so. You never want to put your ends down. You always want to start kind of in a circle formation. The reason why that is if I push both ends down, all the air is going to go to the middle. You're going to get a big wrinkle right across there. So now I kind of have this where I want it. Take my finger, start in the middle, work a nice circle, kind of get a good base down, just like we did with the name. This is where you can kind of branch off. You can feel this, unlike the name, it's going over a lot more curves. So you really have to kind of work it slowly out. You never want to go all the way to one end or the other because you're going to push air in different spots you don't want. So you just kind of, you can feel with your finger real good of, I can feel it wanting to kind of bend or crease, and you just kind of push it. I mean, you can see there's kind of a little bit of creases. Now what I'll do is, instead of pushing all the way to the ends, I'll actually take my tape and I'll pull it off. What's nice is you have the middle down, and I can kind of see now a little better where these creases are sitting. And you just kind of take your finger, just push it out. And what's nice is by having visual, you can see a crease, as opposed to when the tape's on, it's harder to see. You can also see I kind of started on one side. You can do that as well. Now you really got to put a little bit more pressure, go right into the crease. So when you have a crease kind of bridge like that, you want to push right at the bridge. And what that'll do is it'll help actually push that air out. When you normally do something like this, your first instinct is, I just want to go all the way to the end as fast as I can. That actually is going to work against you. So the best way is just kind of work it outward. Don't start on one end, don't push in. But you can kind of see where this other graphic is set. That's normal. It's just because it's going over another layer of vinyl. But all in all, it really, you can see kind of now, it looks like this is all one piece because of how the number sits. Kind of all these pieces flow into it. Kind of hides any points, kind of dresses it up a lot nicer. But as you can see, we are done with the helmet, done dressing it up. We have the visors on it, the upper and the lower. We've got the graphic kit, we got the number, we also got the name. For more information, visit our website at harrisdecals.com. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel for more products to come. And also follow our vlogs, because that's where you're going to see a lot of the new up-to-date stuff as it kind of comes out.